In New York, probably without a computer in his cell. Albert Gonzalez is awaiting trial on allegations he orchestrated the largest data breach in history.
NASA's under attack.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are hacked. You are hacked.
He stole more than 170 million credit and ATM card numbers. The FBI called it the biggest data theft in American history. Banks collapsed. Retail giants bled billions. And the man behind it? A young Cuban American from Miami, who once lectured the Secret Service on cybercrime, while secretly building the largest cyber heist operation the world had ever seen. This is the unbelievable story of Albert Gonzalez, the hacker who betrayed everyone. Albert Gonzalez's story begins in the year 1981 in Miami, Florida. He wasn't the kind of kid who stood out on the playground. He wasn't the athlete or the class clown. He was the quiet boy who disappeared into glowing screens. At just 12, he had already taught himself how computers worked. For him, machines were more predictable than people. They responded to logic, not feelings. By 14, he crossed a line that most kids wouldn't even imagine. He hacked into NASA. Not a school server, not a game cheat code, NASA, the United States Space Agency. His skills had already outgrown the neighborhood. Teachers described him as the leader of a small pack of nerds. But even then, Albert was different. He wasn't just exploring. He was probing the edges of control. By his late teens, Albert had found a community, ShadowCrew. Spent $75,000 on a single party. But perhaps the most surreal image came when investigators discovered he had buried $1.1 million in his parents' backyard, hidden in plastic bags like treasure. At one point, his money-counting machine broke. The pile of cash was so large he had to count $340,000 by hand. On May 7, 2008, the game seemed over. Federal agents stormed a hotel in Miami Beach, arresting Gonzalez. Inside, they found $1.6 million in cash, laptops stuffed with stolen data, luxury watches, even a Glock pistol. For most criminals, this would have been the end. But Gonzalez's story was far from finished. Because even as the agents celebrated their bust, evidence was piling up of something even bigger. Something that would dwarf the TJX heist. In 2009, prosecutors revealed the true scale of Gonzalez's empire. He wasn't just targeting retailers. He had hacked into Heartland Payment Systems, a company that processed millions of credit card transactions every single day. The result? 130 million card numbers stolen. Add that to the retail hacks, and prosecutors estimated Gonzalez had trafficked over 170 million cards. No hacker in history had stolen more. The investigation showed a man who operated like a general. He organized crews, shared stolen data, laundered money through overseas accounts, and constantly adapted his methods. The operation was so vast, the Department of Justice called it "get rich or die tryin'." And the losses? Measured not in millions, but in billions. In September 2009, Gonzalez pleaded guilty. The charges read like a catalog of the digital underworld: conspiracy, wire fraud, computer fraud, identity theft. In March 2010, he stood before the judge for sentencing. Prosecutors painted him as a mastermind consumed by greed. His lawyers, however, told another story. A young man who betrayed criminals, betrayed the government, and ultimately betrayed himself. His story isn't just about stolen credit cards. It's about how one man exploited the cracks of a connected world and how greed can turn brilliance into ruin. This was the rise and fall of Albert Gonzalez, the man behind the biggest credit card theft in history. And here's the truth: cybercrime didn't end with him. Hackers are still out there today, stealing identities, draining bank accounts, and creating scams that are harder to spot than ever. That's why we built Tileris, a cybersecurity company that uses AI to protect you from fraud before it happens. From spotting fake websites to flagging suspicious activity, we help people stay one step ahead of the next Albert Gonzalez. If you don't want to become the next victim, check out Tileris.com. Stay safe, stay aware, and subscribe for more true cyber stories from the digital underworld.